How can prayers really work? Many people wish prayers to happen, but normally, and if you think logically, they don't work. But for some people, very seldom once, prayers work. And also I could make the experience how it happens. And that's why I share it here. The first and very basic thing is that you have to build a connection with God. And also for this video again, I'm basically not a religious person. I have never been religious. I tried several religions and I was disappointed again and again. But suddenly, by accident, I had some divine experiences, and that is what made me believe. Actually, it's not a belief. For me, it's more a trust. I know that there is something far higher existing, but only from my experience. So if someone would ask me, do you believe in God? I must say, I don't believe, I know. But it's silly to say that, because if you, how can you know? So just forget it. It's not about religion. It's not about, but still in childhood, I also tried prayers from time to time. And the thing was, it didn't work because there was no connection to God. It's only I prayed when I was in a critical situation already. And this will not work. There must be kind of a relationship. Even God is not a person, but still there must be a relationship to this spirit, to this consciousness, this higher consciousness, which is also called God. I figured it then later out by accident also. You can compare it to the following. Consider if a stranger comes along across the road, meeting you, and you ask the stranger, please, can you do this or that for me? Will the stranger do it? In most cases, not. And the same is with God. When God is a stranger for you because you don't have a relationship, how can you expect that someone, like even that God, does something for you? Yes, sometimes wonders happen, and people who are not believing earlier, they suddenly believe because a wonder happened. They prayed in any critical situation, and suddenly God intervened, and the situation turned to a good one. But basically, most people from their very childhood know and have experienced that their own prayers normally don't work. And even it is childish to say just believe in God and everything is fine. For me, when I was in a Christian group, when I was a child, they told me I have to believe in God, but I couldn't. It's not easy to believe in God when there is no evidence for it. The evidence came later, and the prayers worked also later. But what did I arrange then? How to create this kind of relationship, and how to make prayers or manifestation work. I started that way. I started about 10, 12 years ago, only to be thankful. That was all. It sounds so easy. I made it a small ritual. There's also a video about that. And it's only an investment of 2, 3, maximum 5 minutes each day. And I was not expecting anything. Only to be thankful. Not only you have to believe in God or something, you can be thankful only for your healthiness, because there is research on that, which I also say in the video, that the thankfulness, the gratitude, supports healthiness. But you can also do it without any reason, without thinking of healthiness, without thinking of course, especially without expecting something from God. So now I have done the thankfulness, now I have been grateful, so now God has to fulfill my wishes. So this also not work, because it's not this kind of toxic relationships as people create, that they make relationships a business, that they say, okay, I marry you, you give me the money, and then we will have a good life. So it's not like that. God is not on this marketplace as your mind is. Most people all over the world, their mind is like that. And so God doesn't work. You have to leave everything behind, which you already know. You have to leave everything which belongs to this world, to the duality. And to build up this relationship, no belief, first of all, is needed. Even prayer is not needed. Meditation is not needed. No necessities. You only be thankful. You can do it in a diary or in a different way, as I show in the video. It can happen that already from the thankfulness there are outcomes, like bodily own drugs, but this is not all. This is not already God talking with you, but God at the same time is seeing you also being thankful for what you already have. And even without thinking of God and without praying and without meditation, without all of these spiritual things, only to be thankful, there from time to time a relationship builds up itself, because God is spirit and not a man, not a person who's expecting thankfulness or something. When, for example, in bad upbringing, people expect from their children to be thankful when they get a present for Christmas or for happy birthday, then they say to the children, you have to be thankful now, say thanks to aunt. This is a forced gratitude. Also, you don't have to force yourself here. If you one day you forget your gratitude practice, then it's no problem. You don't blame yourself here. You don't force yourself to do it. Just do it relaxed, as I show in the video. But there is much more besides the bodily own drugs. They can happen or they can even not happen. It's different. And this doesn't matter. This is not the point. The thing is, the spiritual connection built itself up. And that is the essential point. If you don't believe it, just try it. Start this ritual, but without expectations, as I said. And you will see after a period of time that it works. Suddenly, more and more the relationship, things will happen with you, wonders will happen. You will get advantages in life out of nothing, obviously. But actually, God is behind that. I had many advantages from that. For example, suddenly university was a piece of cake. Everything ran well from almost alone. I got answers from within. I didn't have to give any effort anymore. Things went kind of automatically. But this was only God or higher self helping me. The second aspect, besides the thankfulness, is to live silent, basically. Also to have kind of an isolated life as best as possible. Some of you have to be entangled in work for pay rent or something, but if possible, leave everything behind. And what is most important is to don't talk too much. Try to be a silent person. Try to enjoy the silence. Try to get a kind of inner connectedness in the silence. It is most important to be a silent person. Then this will also support, besides the thankfulness, that the connection to God, to the higher consciousness builds up. When then it starts, that manifestation or prayers work, then you can just do it. As for example, it is given there. It is said that you actually have only to be thankful and to believe that you have already received the result, and then it happens. That is one type of manifestation. If you like a manifestation video, please let me know down below in the comments. So continue your good life. Have a nice week. See you soon. Bye.